Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Movie Chats with Rai and Ant. And today we're talking about 2024 movie Babygirl directed by Halina Reijn. I think that's how it's said. She's Dutch, so I hope that didn't butcher the name, and starring Nicole Kidman. Um, Interesting movie. It's it got better as it progressed, I have to say. But at the
Yeah, the,
beginning, I thought I was in something that I was not going to enjoy at all.
yeah, the second half it definitely improved. That first half of the movie, yeah, same. I thought, what is this? What's going on? And then obviously that's by the second half of the movie, we know these characters now. We've got a little bit more of an idea of their personality and just almost the games that they play with each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
I found it was almost a bit of a game. You've got um, who's in the lead, basically. I think I read somewhere where it's like a tennis match, who's
hmm,
got or even it could even be like any game really, because someone's in the lead, when they first meet each other, she says, "Get me a coffee." And so he gets her a coffee, but then he's in the lead when he starts to kind of dominate her. Then when he goes to the house and she ends it in the car. She's in the lead. Then he
yeah,
quits when he kicks her out of the bar. He's in the lead. It's basically it's back and forth between the two. It's a very interesting dynamic between them.
yeah, it is. Um, I think what I didn't like at the beginning is that I thought it was quite cliched. I thought, okay, so we have this high-powered CEO, and we find out that because she's giving order to a lot of people every day, then she likes to be submissive in the bedroom. And I thought, oh my God, is that going to be that cliched like 50 Shade of Grey with Nicole Kidman? Is that really what this is going to
That's
be?
that's exactly what
Big,
I put down as well. 50 Shades of Grey. That's the feel of it.
yeah. But then as it progressed, because when you are tackling a topic such as sexuality, it's actually a very broad and contrasted topic. And if you're treating it with like broad brushstrokes and cliches, then it's very poor. And I really thought that's what I was in, and then it became a lot more clever. But the setup is very poor. Even Nicole Kidman's acting at the beginning, it's a lot of looking very intense and sighing. It's very annoying. Then she gets good when I think she's got a bit more in the screenplay to, a bit more meat to play with. But at the beginning, I thought the acting was grating. And the way that they start interacting and they start their relationship, I also don't really buy it. There is no real inkling as to,
No.
oh, there is this spark, or there is this inkling that she would like him to be this way. And I have some other issue with his character as a
Right.
whole as
Uh,
well.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
yeah, and it's the way they meet each other as well. So
yeah,
he saves her from a dog attack on the street, and that's it. Then she sees that he's working for her, and there's no real, uh, you're right, there's no spark. There's actually not much energy between them in the beginning that gets
there's
them
not much
to
chemistry at all at the beginning.
later on, later on maybe, but like later down the track.
Uh,
But just that initial how it starts and how it culminates into a a full-blown affair. He saves her on the street, then finds out that they're working together. He basically says, "I always carry cookies in my pocket. Do you want one?" And it doesn't. it didn't make any sense to me. It
No,
just
it doesn't sound
and,
true. It's
and then and the fact that she's this high-powered CEO, it's almost an Amazon type company.
mm,
You've got to think of how big is this company that she's the CEO of, and she's gonna sit with an intern and be the mentor, and then a week later there's the the staff Christmas party. And just by chance, because he's dancing at the party and he's having a lot of fun and he's, getting kind of semi undressed and throwing his shirt and tie around, and then just by chance, the tie is still the only thing that hasn't been collected the next morning, and then
yeah,
she happens to pick it up, and then she does that weird thing where she starts to suck it and lick it and all that kind of stuff. It's like, where did this
yeah.
come from? Because from what we've seen, she's got a very happy family life. So why is she doing this? Why is she behaving in this manner?
Well, this is where I think the movie actually gets clever. This is where it got me because especially the scene when she's talking with her husband, Jacob, Antonio Banderas. First of all, the acting, the both of them in that scene when she's revealing that she's having an affair and that she did it because she's got those dark fantasies is very well acted, is very well written. And I had a lot of empathy with the husband because it seems like a very decent guy, like a very good husband, a very good father. And but I also have empathy for her because with those dark fantasies that she has and the way that she wants to express her sexuality, she's carrying a lot of shame around it. And we see at the beginning, she's trying to get her husband to get into those fantasies to act on them. And he's not really into it. When I don't excuse that she's having an affair because that's quite hurtful. I think this is the worst thing that you can do to your spouse. And definitely communication should have been there as to what she likes, about what she needs. And it was not. And that's not excusable. But um, I understand where she's coming from, sort of. um, Especially because of the shame that she's carrying around those dark fantasies. And because she's female as well, and she's in a position of power. And I think there is a bit of a double standard as well in there.
Because yeah, it almost starts with a little bit of pro-feminism. She's this person who is in a position of power. She's a female in charge of this multi-conglomerate corporation. And then I don't know, is it because I'm a man and I'm not seeing it for what it is, where she likes to be told what to do, and then she likes to be submissive. Is it only based on, in the bedroom kind of stuff where it kind of intertwines into her workplace? Because I don't know, because it was written and directed by a female. So you've got to think, oh, is it empowering to women, or
I don't
is it
think
actually,
it I actually don't think that it has necessarily anything to do with gender for that. What you like in the bedroom, if you like to be dominant, if you like to be submissive, this is not your kind of things or, whatever shade of gray you would like. And where it comes from, I mean, I think it's very, very complex. And it's kind of good that they don't do this black and white thing of why does she like that? And where is that coming from? Is that coming from her childhood? Did she have a trauma? Or oh, that's fine. This is just what she likes, and let's go with it. And it's regardless of the gender, but because she's also a public figure, because she's a woman CEO in power, there is a scene with that girl Esme when she says something that I wrote down that I thought was very true. She said, I thought women with power would behave differently. And I think that was a very, very powerful line. And then the
yeah.
conversation continues with saying, look, I know that you have had this affair with Samuel, and it was very kinky, and he's also very young, a lot younger than you, and he's an intern. blah, blah, blah. But I need you to stay in that position and I need you to put a front and I need that to stay hidden and silent because I need someone like you in a position of power because I am also a woman and I want to progress in my career. And you have to uphold that. And I thought that
Yeah.
that felt very true and yeah, it was a very good scene as well, very good dialogue.
Yeah. With that, with Esme as well, where she, and that's where I've kind of put where my last little note was she comes out like kind of at the top as well because she knows about the affair where she kind of confronts Romy about that.
Yeah.
I thought they could have done that a little, as good as that was, maybe had moments earlier in the film where when Romy and Samuel are having their affair that Esme, you see that Esme has seen them because it's just
Mm,
it's kind of just a kind of the bomb is dropped when Esme says, "I know about you and Samuel,"
yeah.
but we, the audience, don't know that Esme knows. Maybe that's better or as good. It could have been better that we knew, but
Yeah.
it's you could argue that both are as strong as each other. That we're getting that bombshell that Esme knows. We're finding out at the same time. Romy finds out. Oh my God, you know about us.
Yeah. I mean, I think she might have suspicions because she sort of caught them in the kitchen when they were having the party of when Romy get jealous because she didn't want Samuel to date Esme and they came together to the party. I don't think that she doesn't walk in on them, but she's working on having this conversation in the kitchen. So did she put one and one together or not? Or this is when it's revealed in the scene. Uh, yeah, it was good. I like to talk about the character um, of the husband, especially in the light of what we were talking before about sexuality and why she's having an affair and communication in a couple. What was interesting is when she's trying to express what she wants, and he said, I feel like I'm going to be the villain. And then she stops because she's carrying so much shame about that, that she doesn't want to pursue it. And she's minimizing it as to, okay, maybe that's not something that I need. I'm going to find some other outlet. I'm going to watch porn, or then I'm actually going to have an affair with this young guy that understands a bit more what I need and what I want. Um, because of that, it was interesting that her safe word when she's having a conversation with Samuel is Jacob, the name of her husband, because she sees him as he's safe, he's vanilla, he's got more mainstream desire, which I don't have. And that's also a reason why I think she's carrying that shame and she finds it hard to communicate with him.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. We should talk about some of the performances. We'll start because we're on the topic of Jacob. I think it was pretty. Uh, I liked Antonio Banderas in this film. You
Good.
know,
Yeah.
he's because he's such a good actor always, and he's prototypically a lead actor. For him to take this kind of supporting role is, hats off to him for that one because, and he does such a good job. He's such a good, loyal husband. You think at times, is he a jerk? Is he? Because sometimes he's on the phone, but no, he's always there to support Romy. He's always there to do what she wants, and then obviously he gets treated the way he does, so he reacts as quite any human would. He gets quite upset, and he obviously
Yeah.
fights for his marriage. It doesn't go the way he wants. He's kind of the loser in this story, unfortunately, but I thought he
Yeah.
did such a great job. So,
Is
I,
good. I totally buy them as a couple.
yeah,
I thought they really had this chemistry of two people that have been together for a while and still are good with each other, but really know each
yeah.
other. That makes
Have
sense.
they ever done a movie together? Antonio Banderas and Nicole Kidman? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I can't think of anything, but yeah.
because
No,
and
I don't
because
think so.
we the audience have known these two actors for geez 30 or 40 years. It works.
Yeah,
I felt that yeah I thought they really worked together. Um, I'm gonna give props and I'm gonna give the MVP to Harris Dickinson, I think his last name is, as
yeah,
Samuel. Did you know he's British? I didn't know he
yeah.
was
Oh
not.
man, he can't put off an American accent. You can hear the British coming.
Yeah, you can hear it at times, but I thought there's a few times where I think both of them, they both kind of had a few, like Nicole had an Aussie twang come out and he had his British twang come out. But for the most part, I thought he did a pretty good job because we've only just seen him in the Iron Claw. So
Yeah,
he got a lot more to do here.
yeah.
And
His his acting was good. I think he did what he could with what was given to him. I did not like his character at all. I wouldn't even call that a character, and that's my issue. As much as I feel that Romy was a full character, and I can understand who she is, what she's about, where she's coming from, and the same with Jacob. Samuel, I feel like I do not know him. I feel like he was a plot device, something that was there just to make the plot happen and to move it forward. But who is he? What does he really like? What is his background? What does he want? It's very not clear. I feel everything is to guide Romy through her journey and to have an affair with him. I I didn't think it was well written. He did a good job, but I just didn't think it was well written as a character at
yeah, like
all.
where did he come from and where did he go? Just his exit. It was just a little
Yep.
expositional when there's that character. Again, I'm going to talk about this character in a few moments. So this character comes in at the end of the movie and he's talking to Romy. Oh, he's just gone off to another city or another country. I can't even remember. So, and it was just, oh, we don't need him anymore. So we're just going to
Yeah,
write him
yeah,
off the
he's off to
screen.
Tokyo. That's it.
Yeah, and then that character at the end, so I've written his name Sebastian. Like I don't think we've ever actually had his name mentioned before. He's never been a
No.
talking character before, and all of a sudden, Romy's come full circle again. She's back to being that boss, where she's kind of tells him, get the F out of my office, and then you're not gonna belittle me. I'm the boss. That was just like, where did that come from? Who is this
It
guy?
was a
Why is she talk?
yeah, it was a strange ending. I mean, my interpretation of it is he knows what happened between Romy and Samuel, and he's trying to get into that game of like, well, do you want to be submissive? You want to have an affair? And here I am, I can do that. But she's not buying it because it's about where when she wants, with whom she wants. And that's what she's saying to him. Look, if I want somebody to humiliate me, then I will pay for it. Now you get the F out of my office.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. That's how I interpreted it, but it was a little bit of a strange ending.
yeah, it was just clunky. It
Yeah.
would, again, it would have been nicer if there was more scenes with him throughout the movie where we can kind of understand why there's tension. It
Yeah,
just
maybe
having
he's
have,
attracted to her. Maybe he's trying to flirt. Maybe he's like, yeah, but here it's like, okay, who are you?
yeah. And finally, Nicole Kidman. I, I thought, yeah, that first half of the movie was, I didn't buy her as a high powering CEO.
Hmm.
She's away from work and away from her life at the office more than she's there. I just I didn't see that this is a character who is, they're always saying how she's someone who's all powerful. You've got so much confidence, you've got so much drive and ambition, and we're all just thrilled to have you, and we want to be like you. But at no time did I really feel like you don't really see her as it's not written well. I didn't find it. I
No,
didn't believe it.
it was not written well at all. And I think she was trying to do what she could, but
It
yeah, it's just
wasn't a good. It
no,
wasn't a good screenplay. It just
when she, not at the beginning, it becomes a bit smarter afterwards. And when in the moment where she's more vulnerable, then it's a lot more believable. But yeah, at the beginning, I think it felt like she was a bit lost as to, okay, how do I introduce this character? Because I don't have much to work with.
yeah. Well, I think I have gone through, and I think I've all the stuff that I've got. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this
No,
this one today?
I think we should go into scoring.
All right, I'll let you go first.
All right. I would give it a 3 out of 5. Um, Rocky start, and then it got better. And yeah, glad it did because um, it's a good it's a good reflection on sexuality and image. It was led a lot in a more clever way than it started, and it progressed very well to being smart and know what it was talking about. Uh, so I will give it a 3 um,
Yeah.
out of 5. How about you?
Uh, it gets a three from me as well. It started kind of clunkily, had a good kind of
Yeah.
middle. Probably the first third was probably not great. Second, third, and most of the final act was okay, and then it just ended just weird with obviously the way they
Mm,
kind of ended the relationship. They got rid of Samuel, that whole scene with that character Sebastian at the end. It just, I I applaud Nicole Kidman. You know, she's nearly 60 and she's still doing roles like this, and she can still fairly well pull them off. But
yeah.
I just I didn't like any of the characters. I just didn't find any of the relationships believable. There was some
Mm,
too much. They even added the what is it, the traditional woke lesbian daughter as well, just because they just had to do that as well. So
mm,
it felt it was just written. Uh, I I just didn't like it this time. It's
mm.
not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Please let us know what you thought of this movie. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Please give us a like and a comment in the wherever you find us. And as always, please subscribe.